Your subconscious has been receiving mixed signals from you for years, and it's done exactly what any honest receiver does with static. It picked the loudest, most repeated signal and built your life around it. The problem isn't that manifestation has failed you. The problem is that you've been broadcasting on 2 channels at once, and your inner world finally chose the one you were most committed to, the one where you don't have it yet. That word delusional gets thrown at acting as if like an accusation. The argument goes something like this: if I act wealthy when I'm broke, I'm lying. If I move as a confident person while my chest is tight, I'm pretending. If I assume the relationship is already mine when the phone hasn't rung in weeks, I'm in denial. And from the surface, that critique makes sense. There's just one thing it misses. The version of you that isn't pretending is also a performance. It just happens to be the one you've rehearsed for so long that it feels like reality. Sit with that for a second. The tight shoulders, the defensive tone when someone offers you something good, the reflex to check your bank account before you check your worth. All of that was learned. You practiced it. You rehearsed it through thousands of unguarded moments until the rehearsal disappeared and the role became the self. Acting as if introduces a new signal into a system already running on old performances you forgot you chose. This is what Neville Goddard kept pointing at when he spoke of assumption. The assumption is the inner posture from which all of your outer behavior, your tone, your choices, your micro-reactions get organized. Change the assumption and the organizing center shifts. Leave the assumption untouched and every affirmation you whisper gets filed under things I'm saying because they're not true yet. Your subconscious hears the unspoken disclaimer louder than the words. So what is a consistent signal really? It's the moment your inner state and your outer behavior stop arguing with each other. Most people try to manifest by sending one signal with their words and the exact opposite signal with their body, their mood, their default expectations. They say, "I am abundant," while their stomach knots at the supermarket. They affirm love while flinching at intimacy. They speak the future and feel the past. To the subconscious, which doesn't understand language so much as it understands repeated emotional patterning, the louder message wins. And the louder message is almost always the one stitched into the body. This is the genuine reason acting as if matters. It's about closing the gap between what you claim and what you embody, until there's only one signal left to send. Here's where the inner work gets uncomfortable, because closing that gap requires you to sit inside a feeling that has no external evidence yet. You have to feel chosen before the call comes. You have to feel solvent before the deposit hits. You have to feel loved before anyone has said the words. And for the first few days, sometimes weeks, your nervous system will throw a quiet tantrum. It will tell you this is fake. It will tell you you're being naive. It will offer you 100 reasons to drop the assumption and return to the familiar ache. That tantrum is the data. That tantrum is the proof that the old signal is still being broadcast, that the assumption you're trying to step out of has roots deeper than a morning affirmation can reach. The work is to outlast it. Neville called this living in the end. Living there, brushing your teeth there, answering your emails there, walking past the mirror with the same quiet certainty a person who already has it would carry. The end is a frequency you're choosing to broadcast from, before the world has any reason to confirm it. This is where most people get stuck. The principle is simple. The discipline is brutal. Consider what the Kybalion calls the principle of vibration. Everything moves at a rate, and what you experience in your outer life is a match for the rate you're sustaining inside. You attract what you are, in the brutal mechanical sense that your inner state shapes which opportunities you notice, which conversations you risk, which doors you walk toward, and which you quietly avoid. Shift the inner state, and the field of available actions reshapes around it. Leave the inner state alone, and no amount of strategy will save you. Acting as if is the mechanism by which you change the rate. It's how you start sending the subconscious a signal that says, "I am someone for whom this is normal." The subconscious doesn't reward intensity, it rewards consistency. A loud, dramatic visualization on Monday does less than a quiet embodied assumption sustained from Tuesday morning through Sunday night. Notice what this is actually asking of you. It's asking you to monitor your mental diet, the way an athlete monitors what they eat. James Allen wrote that a person is literally what they think, their character being the complete sum of all their thoughts. He meant the murmuring background thoughts, the "of course this would happen to me," that they probably won't reply, the "I'm just being realistic." Those are the thoughts shaping the signal. And those are the thoughts most people refuse to interrupt, because interrupting them feels like lying. It's editing. There's a difference between deceiving yourself about what is and refusing to keep rehearsing a self you no longer want to be. You'll hear the objection at this point, and it's worth meeting it head on. The skeptic says, "If I just act wealthy, I'll spend money I don't have and bury myself. If I act loved, I'll project onto strangers and embarrass myself. If I act confident when I'm not, I'll walk into rooms unprepared and humiliate myself." And inside the spiritual framework, that objection actually carries weight, because acting as if has everything to do with inner state and very little to do with reckless external behavior dressed up in mystical language. The acting Neville pointed at happens inwardly first. It's the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the inner relief, the dropped shoulders of someone who already has it. The external behavior that follows from that inner state is calmer, more discerning, more grounded than the behavior of someone forcing the surface to perform what the inside hasn't accepted. The wealthy assumption leads you to make decisions from sufficiency instead of panic, which over months is what actually changes the account. So the real question isn't whether acting as if is delusional. The real question is, which version of acting you've been doing your whole life without naming it? You've been acting as if you're behind. You've been acting as if love is scarce. You've been acting as if your dreams require permission from people who haven't earned a vote. Every time you've checked your reflection and made a small, sad adjustment to your expectations, you've been rehearsing a role. The role just felt like reality because the rehearsal had no end date. What changes with conscious assumption is the end date. You decide, with whatever quiet authority you can muster, that the old performance closes tonight, and tomorrow a different one opens. Same body, same circumstances on the outside, different inner posture, different inner certainty, different inner answer to the unspoken question, who am I when no one is watching? That last question is where the signal lives. Your subconscious cares what you assume in the silence between thoughts. It cares what tone you take with yourself when something small goes wrong. It cares what story you tell about the morning before your feet even hit the floor. Those are the signals it records. Those are the signals it organizes your reality around. Living in the end means those private signals match the life you claim to want. The version of you who already has it would recognize the version of you sitting here, right now, reading this. Same posture, same patience, same refusal to negotiate with the old evidence. And here's the harder part. You will have days where you fall out of the assumption, days where the bank balance scares you, the phone stays silent, the body forgets. The work is to return faster each time, to notice the old signal trying to broadcast again, and to choose, deliberately, to step back into the new one. The subconscious needs preponderance. It needs the new signal to win the majority of the moments. Each return is a vote. Each vote is a brick. The structure rises whether you can see it yet or not. This is why the people who get accused of being delusional are often the ones who eventually look prophetic. They held the inner state long enough for the outer world to catch up. And the outer world, being downstream of consciousness, rather than upstream of it, eventually did. So stop asking whether you're being delusional. Ask whether you're being consistent. Ask whether the person you claim you're becoming would make the choice you're about to make, hold the thought you're about to indulge, speak the words you're about to mutter under your breath. If the answer is no, you already know what to adjust. You need to honor the teaching already living in you. The assumption is the seed, the consistency is the soil, the patience is the weather, and the harvest, when it comes, will feel like an inevitability you simply outlasted your own doubt to receive. Your subconscious has been listening this whole time. The question was always which version of you it would have enough evidence to build. Give it the version you actually want, and then give it that version again tomorrow, and the day after, until the static clears and only one signal remains. That's authorship, and the page has been blank, waiting for you for longer than you've been willing to admit.